right. We are going to be starting off with our Halcyon survivors up against our ELV hunter. When it comes to this formation, the hunter usually tends to opt for the spawn in between the three survivors at the bottom here. But given that it's an opera singer, it's definitely also a solid choice to be spawning over at the cottage ruins here. It puts you at such close proximity with the survivor spawning in cottage, and when it comes to spawning there too, you really have to make uh, big decisions as to whether you're going to stay and be mindful of a potential basement or transition over to the next area that has definitely seen some nerfs as of late.
Mm-hmm. The aeroplanist does want to be careful since it seems the HCN survivors were going for the usual spawn, how our opera singer spawns between antiquarian and the survivor at factory there. So it seems this could have caught them a bit off guard with the opera singer deciding to spawn next to that aeroplanist. But he has lockers to work with. Unfortunately, since it is an opera singer, she is able to catch up much easier now because there's not that many walls the survivor could work with here. So does have to be careful with like the hits he decides to give the opera singer here.
Hmm. And speaking of him, it does look like our opera singer is really closing in on the Aeroplanist, who is our target for first chase. Aeroplanist was, however, able to transition over to the ruins and is going to use a beautiful hover to get to the pallets.
Mm-hmm. Will be giving a hit here early on. Does have to be careful with where he decides to transition here, since Opera can easily catch up to him. Will gets down unfortunately here. Ciphers are below 50, and the opera singer seems to be chairing near middle here. Um, Chu does have to be careful here, since Opera can easily harass the ciphers here. Um, will be using the pocket. Oh, but gets hit unfortunately here. Does have to be careful with the rescue here.
Yeah, unfortunately, despite the additional stages, once you use that little mini tide after getting hit, it does lose its effect. And unfortunately, first officer is going down. Opera singer is then going to opt to chase our escapologist, who is our other rescue option here. Now, we do still have a flywheel to work with in our build for the escapologist here, as well as being able to eat a hit without consequence, which is going to happen here. But knowing that Cozy really is going to avoid taking a risky vault and is going to get hit while still in the factory. But of course, this is Opera Singer, and she is going to really try and catch up. Are we going to be seeing a flyway? And unfortunately, we are going to be seeing a blink to catch up to Escapologist, who is going to go down on the chair. This puts Aeroplanist at our first elimination. Unfortunately, is going to get sent back to the manor. But First Officer has since then primed his heal, and it does look like an antiquarian is on the way.
Mm-hmm. We'll be going back towards middle here. Seems to be trying to cut off the other survivor, trying to go for the rescue here, which is Antiquarian. She does have ties, so Escapologist wants to make sure to get away from middle as much as possible here. Um, gets the rescue successfully here. But it seems oh it seems the opera singer catches up to Escapologist easily here. We'll be going for a second chair here with ciphers at 4%. With ciphers at 4, survivors have to be careful with how they decide to rescue or if they're gonna sell here, since it seems one cipher is above 50% here.
And we do have our antiquarian close by. Opera Singer is going to opt to harass these ciphers again, and Antiquarian is going to do a beautiful jump through the window with the flute, but Opera Singer is really close by and now is going to play the safer game, trying to avoid these stuns. And it does seem to pay off because our Opera Singer is going to get the Antiquarian down. Unfortunately, Escapologist is going to be sent back to the manor, but in turn, First Officer has really been pushing a cipher to allow for that that dungeon location to spawn. Oh, and unfortunately, it is going to spawn right in the middle, right in the Opera Singer's face. It does seem like Opera Singer is going to opt to drop Antiquarian here and switch targets to the first officer.
Mm-hmm. First officer does want to be careful here. They want to play the long game here since they do need that one escape out at least. Um, it's gonna go back to middle. Going towards the end, going towards that first officer will he be seen? Sorry.
Mm,
Does not get the tinnitus. Great job from FO here on avoiding the opera singer.
mm-hmm. Yeah,
It
really
seems
good. Sorry, really good strategy of just really going for the edges of the map, especially since Opera Singer can really cover so much distance with all of these objects in the way.
mm-hmm. It does seem the first officer is trying to crawl away from middle here. Um, Possibly to heal at, as far away in case the first officer is found. Um,
Hmm.
doesn't get tinnitus yet. Great job from the first officer here, buying as much time as possible for the antiquarian to try and bleed out here. Um, we'll be going towards factory. Might get tinnitus here, and oh, doesn't. Oh, yeah,
Oh, now we
gets
get the
last
tinnitus.
minute. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, thankfully we weren't able to see any crows, but it does look like our Opera Singer does catch sight of that trail instead, and First Officer is going to transition over to the deep sandbags area, and unfortunately is going to go down here.
Mm-hmm. Um, we'll be getting picked up here. Could be bringing the first officer closer to middle since the dungeon is there,
Hmm.
and it'll give the opera singer a better view on possibly the antiquarian trying to clutch that dungeon. Um, it seems she is gonna go towards um a shack here. Antiquarian is still on the floor here. Doesn't know. Oh,
Oh.
but heals. Um, think might have been
Hmm.
a little misstep there since
Yeah.
the opera didn't know where she was.
We are going to get that tinnitus on the Antiquarian, especially seeing the blood trail as well. Utilizing this area does negate the palette, and it does look like Antiquarian is going to go down. Unfortunately, this is going to result in a four-man elimination, which congratulations to ELV. Really well done getting the point lead here with 5 points since
Hmm.
it's a four elimination. I think Halcyon did a really great job in prolonging the game, trying to get the best possible result. But everyone was just like really on each other's toes and playing to the end. And it was just such a solid way to end off the first half and really start this bracket as well.
Okay, we are moving on to second half with HCN Hunter and then ELV Survivors. HCN does want to make sure they can at least 4K here to even out the points and rounds here since they do want to make sure and lock in that round 3. Um, it will be could be a little hard with this survivor comp kind of being against the goatman here. S-
Yeah,
Mila.
I think the tough part is that uh our Goatman spawning here leaves characters like the knight and the puppeteer more vulnerable. They might be in stronger kiting areas and have a lot of pellets to work with, but the downside is that especially on that puppeteer, you don't have a kiting build to work with. So you're really going to have to be mindful of the resources that you utilize, and you especially have to watch out for where you are kiting. But yes, as we move into this second half, I'm really eager to see who the Goatman chases first because regardless, Goatman is definitely one of the top hunter picks, especially for round one for a reason. And uh, our ELV survivors really have to make sure that they do not collide with one another. but it does
Mm-hmm.
look like our knight is going to be the target. Luckily, we do have the flywheel to work with as well as those helmets, but our goatman is really gonna close in fast on this knight, but not quite uh, get a cage down. But the resentment, of course, is building up. We did drop a pallet, and it does seem like maybe, oh, we're going to opt to uh, leave the knight, and looks like we're gonna see Goatman transition over to the factory.
Yes. Oh, seems he's transitioning towards deep sandbags instead, but unfortunately there's no survivors here, so it does give time
Hmm.
for the ELV survivors to decode here. We'll be going towards the factory now with um one of the survivors being there. Gets gets the cage here. We'll be chasing the enchantress now here. Does have to be careful since enchantresses can uh get those stuns easily from the goatman. Um,
And now
we'll be
that she's been
hiding.
adjusted, the starting off with a stack already, and she is going to utilize that.
Mm. Great job from the enchantress here, at kiting those cages. Usually, a lot of survivors struggle here with it being very closed. Um,
Hmm.
uh, oh, amazing!
Ooh.
Oh, gets the excitement out here. Very good and good from the enchantress. We'll be transitioning into factory now. Um, outside factory. I'm sorry. Oh,
Oh, we're
gets
gonna
the
get a
pallet
pallet
stun.
stun. Yes, but unfortunately, the Goatman was able to get a hit on the Enchantress here, and we are closing in on the Enchantress, who has utilized a lot of pallets, and oh, is going to use that three stack, especially after the Hunter used Excitement.
Mhm. Great
Ooh.
job. Oh, oh,
Oh my goodness, that's
oh.
huge. We are going to be seeing the Goatman block off the pallet area for Enchantress, but of course, being outside of the cage does put the hit as a chip hit instead.
Hmm. The knight here is coming in to support the enchantress by canceling the Goman's attack. Does get the cage
Mm.
off here, and enchantress will be going down. Ciphers are good progress with um the third one being above 90%, and then two started already, with one above 50, and then the other close to 30% here. Does get chaired on the Night Cipher, which he does manage to pop. He does manage to
Mhm.
pop here. Um, it seems Knight is
Oh.
trying to. Oh, does get that chip hit here.
Oh, and
Trying to
camps the
buy us.
pallet.
Oh, very
Hmm.
good job from the Knight. He.
Oh,
Oh.
it's so interesting to see survivors block off that part too. Usually you see hunters doing that,
Mm,
but we are going to see enchantress use a stack, but Goman is going to get another hit on our enchantress. It does seem like we have really good cipher progress here. A knight was able to buy some time to decode, but this allows for the puppeteer to be primed for the second rescue. He does have that other set of tide and is going to close in on that chair.
mm-hmm. It seems. Oh, the cipher is prime, so they can just pop whenever here. Um,
Hmm.
they do
Oh,
get that pop here. Oh,
yeah.
uh,
Unfortunately, the flywheel just like wasn't able to go through, but uh, we are going to be entering a four-man end game here for the Goat Man,
mhm,
who is going to be focusing on the Enchantress, who is dead on chair.
mm. uh, Dungeon is in the area, so Goman does have to be careful with how he decides to play this end game here, since survivors are able to take one detection hit without the cage. Um, this could easily turn into a four-man escape if Goman isn't
Oh.
careful enough. Oh, gets the hit here.
Hmm.
Enchanters will be sent back to the manor with HCN Hunter getting a 1K elimination.
What an intense match. This round one was definitely intense through and through. I really think that the going through the palette really paid off despite all of the palette stuns throughout the match. Getting that hit on the Enchantress and especially stopping her from getting that dungeon really worked out in the end. So great job. And I think uh, really the team uh, being able to utilize their resources really worked out for them in the end. Uh, yeah, really solid stuff.
Mhm. Yeah.
Right, it looks like we have our ELV Hunter with another meta choice up their sleeve. And what a better, like, what a great. Can we restart? I'm sorry. I need to stop, I need to stop being positive. Like, I don't want to. Okay. Okay. Yes. Okay. Okay. Wait, I'm gonna wait for the survivors to select their area. All right. We are locking into a bit of an interesting formation here with our Halcyon survivors. We are starting off this match strong, especially as we transition over into the second round with our ELV team in the lead. Our hunter is going to spawn in between the bridges, which does put two prime targets. Definitely the stronger choices in terms of kiting. Embalmer and Psychologist are definitely solid choices if you want to be able to secure a tie at least and provide extra support for your team. So putting them on the opposite side of the map, farther from that hunter, definitely gives them a good advantage. But of course, you are up against the Hullabaloo who can make that distance quite fast.
Yes. We will be going shortly into the match. It seems the survivors are carrying a double tide here. They do want to make sure to get at least a tie here, to have it easier for their hunter in the second half. Um, with the embalmer here, um,
Yeah, we are going to the first half of round two. This is going to be our HCN survivors up against our ELV Hunter. My name is Mima, and I am with Chubi for commentary. Good luck to both teams.
yes. Good luck.
All right. Yeah, as we get into the match here, I'm really excited to see who the Hullabaloo is going to be targeting as their first chase. We spun really close, but it does look like we are going to be going for the Magician.
Um, Magician Whoopi, almost walks into the hullabaloo here, but is going back around. Does have to be careful here to not get his wand. Oh, gets the early hit here. Um, this could be really bad since the hullabaloo is on that red and can easily cancel the magician's wand.
Yeah,
We'll
he
be
is
going towards
gonna.
last stop.
Yeah,
Um,
utilizing at least one wand for now, but that cooldown and then red. Oh, unfortunately, Magician is going to go down. The hunter is really on top of repositioning that clone.
mm-hmm. We'll be getting chaired at fourth stop here. The Hullabaloo do an amazing job utilizing his clones. Um, we'll be trying to look for ciphers he could harass here. The Gravekeeper is coming in early shovel to avoid getting. Oh, but does get the rescue in time here. We'll be trying to go for the double down here.
Oh,
Oh.
unfortunately, avoiding that white bomb was not possible after the Hullabaloo was able to kind of maneuver his way around and get that hitbox manipulation in. But our Hullabaloo is going to switch targets to our Magician, who has, of course, already been on chair. We're going to see a great flywheel, but in turn, Hullabaloo is going to respond with a warp.
Mm-hmm. Um, the survivors do have to be careful here, not to. Oh, oh, amazing.
Oh,
Oh, but does get that down. Magician did an amazing rebound kite on that hullabaloo, gave enough time for the survivors to decode at least another cipher for that dungeon. We'll be going towards the um Gravekeeper. They do manage that heal off. Great job. Does get the hit
Mhm.
out of Shovel here. We'll be going for the second rescue here. Um, Hullabaloo is looking at Cypher progress, it seems. Oh, gets the
When we're cutting
hit.
it close, but we are able to get that magician off the chair. Gatekeeper is unfortunately going to go down after trying to use that shovel, and magician is just one white ball away from going down as well. Oh,
Mhm,
unfortunately, we are going to see that hit go through, and Magician will be getting sent back to the manor. I wonder, is Gravekeeper able to pick himself up? Unfortunately, probably not, due to those pings. And it does look like we are going to be seeing Gravekeeper in Magician's former chair on the third platform here.
mhm. Um, we'll be going towards the embalmer here. Does want the cipher progress is a little behind, but they are at two ciphers, so they can easily catch up if at least the Gravekeeper is able to have a strong kite here for endgame. Oh, Embalmer does
Wow.
get down.
Oh
Oh,
my
unfortunately,
goodness.
it is a double down. Um, the survivors, HCN survivors do have to be careful here with how it seems psychologist is going for the rescue here. Um, oh, it seems a slight lag here, but we'll be continuing. Um, does get a second hit on the psychologist, and oh,
Ooh. Yeah, we
does
are
get
were
that
able
down.
to
Mhm.
see that another kind of hitbox maneuver, and Gravekeeper is going to be getting sent back to the manor. Embalmer is still holding on to that self heal, as well as that coffin, and now our Hullabaloo is going to change targets to the psychologist. Now it does seem like we don't have tinnitus over at the second platform. Psychologist is long gone, but even
Mhm.
we are missing that sight on her. But it does look like psychologist is a little too far to be able to pick up embalmer.
Mhm. Psychologist is doing an amazing job at avoiding that hullabaloo and his puppets. Um, they do want to make sure to get to play this end game bleed out strat correctly to at least
Hmm.
secure that one escape to avoid ELV Hunter gain the full 5 points here. Um,
Hmm. Yeah, hopefully the new introduction and of course the adjustments to that final deduction could hopefully work in their favor. But it's really tough, even on a big map, when your hunter is the hullabaloo who can really make up for this distance. And it does look like we did get a sliver of tinnitus and then got caught sight of that blood trail, and Hullabaloo is beginning to chase the psychologist.
mhm. We'll be transitioning away from the dungeon here, possibly to give the embalmer a chance to clutch since he does have the coffin still here. Does get down. It seems the hunter is going for that chair here, so embalmer can easily self heal and coffin if but goes for the down. Um, Seems he's trying to get that embalmer out first, so he uses his coffin since it can be a little risky if you have that embalmer up with self heal,
Hmm.
especially if he decides to drop his coffin out near the dungeon. Um,
Ooh, are we going to get tinnitus closing in on the embalmer who has since then crawled over to the fourth platform around that gate?
mm,
Oh, and he is going to catch
oh,
sight of that embalmer. Psychologist is nearly primed. Oh, psychologist is going to go for the pickup as Embalmer gets put on chair. Now it does look like Embalmer, of course, is going to be utilizing that coffin. Now Hullabaloo really has to choose a target here, and it does look like
mhm.
we are possibly going to be seeing psychologist as our next chase.
The survivors do have to be careful since they are kiting near each other. So if psychologist gets a early down, oh, we'll be warping to catch up. Um, very. Oh,
Oh, oh,
oh! I thought it was gonna be to fourth stop
me
here.
too.
Um,
Oh, and
does
psychologist is gonna go down again.
mm-hmm. Embalmer now has to be very careful here um, with not getting crows or given the hunter tinnitus. But it seems the hunter will be dropping psychologist. Um, we'll be trying to find that embalmer here. Since
Mhm.
the psychologist does not have any more self pickup. Um,
Oh, we're gonna
oh,
see the embalmer over at the first platform now. Definitely the downside of utilizing that roller coaster now puts the other teammate at a disadvantage. But of course,
mhm,
embalmer is has a decent amount of distance, but Hullabaloo is going to catch sight of that blood trail. Unfortunately, our dungeon location does happen to be at the opposite side of the map here. Uh, so Embalmer does have to uh, really focus on the kite. But unfortunately, it does look like since Psychologist can't pick herself up, Embalmer really has to try and transition over to the other side of the map if we're hoping for that dungeon escape. Ooh, and it
yes.
seems like our hunter has switched to peepers. Ah!
Oh, it seems. Oh, Embalmer has given up here, or is um could possibly give a free dungeon escape here, maybe. No,
Oh, and
just
with that amount of bleed out, Embalmer is just going to get eliminated or surrender, which, fair enough, given the intensity of this match.
mhm. Good job from HCN survivors playing that long game end game. They definitely know how to use that strat. Unfortunately, the hunter uh is playing aggressive towards here and try.
Yeah, really, really well done on the hunter's part. I'm especially impressed by the uh, expertise on the clones and being able to get those double bomb hits on the survivors. Well done.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh my God, Florian. Let's see here. Mm, do you want to start us off this time, Chibi?
I can try.
Yes, it's okay if
um,
it's just like a little bit. Thank you.
okay.
You the goat.
Yes. We will be going on to second half round two with HCN Hunter and ELV Survivors. Since the ELV Hunter did get a 4K here, HCN Hunter wants to make sure to get that 4K as well to lock in that round three, to help his team with evening out the rounds here. Even if they could be behind on points, they can easily catch up in round three. Um, We'll be spawning in tent here with the meteorologist above fourth stop and then Weepy Clown at bridge. Who do you think the peddler could possibly chase here, Mima?
I definitely think that both of them are tough survivors to chase. I do think that this whole team composition is more on the assertive side and can really defend themselves despite the hunter being peddler. But Weeping Clown spawn as well as just being out in the open and more likely to utilize those rockets could definitely uh, make him a more prime target. But of course, we do have Meteorologist with that nerf on the bottle, and it does look like our Meteorologist does end up being our first chase here.
Mhm,
As a meteorologist, you really have to be able to utilize that bottle wisely, but it's always worth doing so in a kite. And it does look like Peddler is going to catch up to Meteorologist really fast over here, and meteorologist is going to opt to drop that pallet, and peddler really makes that distance fast.
mhm. We'll be breaking the pallet here to avoid any possible loops with the meteorologist, since she is able to easily like easily to cut easily have a distance on the peddler with her wins here.
Hmm.
Does avoid that chip hit with the peddler. Um,
Oh,
oh, nice job from the hunter here. Definitely has patience with uh, the survivors camping pallets. Um,
oh, and
uh,
meteorologist is going to use the last of that bottle, but honestly, oh, we're gonna see a terror
oh,
shock.
with Terror Shock, the hunter now needs only two more hits, I think, or one, to be at full presence. So, um,
Hmm.
but ciphers do seem to be very good with two, with yeah, one popping and then another one on its way. Um, the Weeping Clown will be going for the rescue here. Um, will be Warp will gets the rescue
Oh.
with get and the body block. Just want to make sure they don't give any double downs here, so Weepy can just get away from the peddler as far as he can. Um,
Hmm. Good, good maneuvers to avoid these vines, of course, after utilizing most of that bottle to avoid them getting over. But oh, we're going to see meteorologists go down for a second time here, and
mhm,
again in a double down situation. But our archer is moving in to try and rescue the meteorologist on balloons. Are we going to see that? Yes, it does seem like our meteorologist is going to get chaired right before uh, the archer's stun goes through.
mhm.
Now, Weeping
Um,
Clown.
e-
Mm-hmm.
oh, sorry.
All good.
ELV survivors have been doing an amazing job against this peddler. You don't usually see a lot of peddler gameplay in NAEU, so a lot of teams aren't really familiar. But ELV survivors definitely do know what they're doing here. Um,
Oh, we're gonna see support from the Weeping Clown, utilizing the rocket to allow the meteorologist to get to that two-story. Archer is gonna go ahead and use another one of those arrows, but it does look like our peddler is trying to catch up to the meteorologist, canceling out that vine as meteorologist takes the vault on the second story. Oh, and fire investigator is closing in, going to deploy an airbag or possibly block. He makes for a very interesting counter, especially towards the vines of the peddler. Uh,
mhm.
oh, but we're
Oh,
gonna catch up. And oh,
oh. Unfortunately, the meteorologist does walk into the peddler here.
oh,
Oh,
and the archer is also gonna get downed. Good patience on the peddler here, just knowing that we have these other teammates trying to support.
mhm. They are at one cipher here, so uh, they can easily replay this endgame relax since the hunter does need a 4K. Um, all ELV survivors needed a one escape out to win the matchup here. Um, Archer will be going for the Archer
Oh,
will
and
be getting
fire
chip.
fire
Oh,
investigator did
miss.
block. Oh, we're gonna get a balloon hit on
Oh,
the fire investigator, which is really huge for the hunter. The
oh.
fire investigator isn't able to push off into the airbag, so has to manually go over. And a peddler is going to opt to change to the weeping clown, switching to teleport and just preventing that last cipher from being decoded. Peddler
Mhm,
is going to catch up with the vines here, and Weeping Clown did end up using another one of those rockets. Fire Investigator, of course, is going to be picking up the archer here as Weeping Clown fights for his life but is going to go down. Really great use of the peddler's abilities.
mhm. Um, they have the cipher around 40%, almost 50. Archer will be going for the rescue here. Does have to be careful. Could go for the after half rescue since they want to give the cipher as much time to decode and be primed. Will be getting ca- cancels the vine. Um,
Oh, the archer served as a distraction because our fire investigator went ahead and rescued the weeping clown. It does look like they are going to be, oh, not quite pushing for the cipher yet. Again, like you said,
oh,
Chubi, they are able to play kind of the match longer. since the
Mm-hmm.
stakes are more lax for our ELV survivors here. Now, Peddler is trying to get a hold of that Weeping Clown and Fire Investigator, getting that tinnitus. Are we going to see this heal go through? And yes, we
It
are.
does. Mm-hmm. We'll be going after the healed survivor, which is really good for e- ELV. ELV, since they want to have a survivor that can tank those hits for the last cipher. Um, um, uh,
Oh, the charge hit does end up uh hitting the Weeping Clown. It does look like our peddler is keeping an eye on that cipher and is going to go for that teleport. Fire investigator did does seem to be decoding on the bridge, but oh, really well done on the peddler for utilizing those abilities, really cutting these survivors off. They did interrupt their decoding to opt for another heal, but it does look like our Weeping Clown has one more rocket to work with. Both of them do have a bit of slower decoding, but since Fire Investigator has spent some time with that hunter and we are at accelerated decoding, his decoding at the moment is much more faster compared to our Weeping Clown. But it does look like our peddler is keeping a watchful eye over in the middle here. Weeping Clown really has to be careful with how he gets to the chair, as especially as the cipher is being primed.
oh,
Ooh,
nice. A rocket from the Weepy here, stunning the hunter to have time for that rescue. Um, Archer is close to expiring.
oh my goodness.
Oh, does get the
Oh,
rescue off. And
oh. Archer
oh,
unfortunately has no borrowed time, so Peddler is going to switch to the Weeping Clown briefly. What a roller coaster of a vine, but she is gonna quickly catch up to the Weeping Clown and get a charge hit in down.
hmm, they do have to be careful here since teleport is almost up and the
Mm-hmm.
other gate is barely around 40%. Um, decides to just chair the Weepy here. And the fire investigator will have enough time to escape here. Um, with HCN Hunter getting the 3K and then ELV survivors having the one escape. ELV survivors will be taking the matchup home.
Wow, really well done. Great job to both teams. It's been really fun to get to watch these matches back to back and really see each team keep each other on each other's toes and put their best foot forward and really push the match until the very end. Each team really pulled all the stops, and it was so fun to get to see each character get their sort of spotlight and really great to see all of this teamwork as well.
Mm-hmm.